Good morning, guys. Happy for you guys Friday, for me Tuesday. So if you are kind of following along in these what I eat in a day videos, I can film Tuesdays and Thursdays for right now until everyone comes back from maternity leave, and then I won't be in the office by myself anymore. But for now, this is what I'm trying to keep doing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, today's video is going to be another what I eat in a day, and I just realized that I left my lean cuisine in my freezer because, you know, per usual, I'm like running out the door. So that's so annoying. So I'm gonna have to take a short and sweet lunch break to go home and pick that up because I'm still trying to carry over a little bit of the habits from No Spend January. This video is also at the very end. I'm going to recap how my No Spend January went, how much I was able to save. I just want to give like a very realistic, if you are on like a debt-free journey as well, or just want to save money and be like a real responsible adult, good for you. You should do that. So I just kind of want to give like a realistic view of it because I just don't, when I'm doing these things, when I'm looking up inspiration, it's just like with anything. It's just the same as with like cooking or with Weight Watchers or just anything. Like, it's nice to have someone who is in your same boat, in the sense of, I feel like there are a lot of vloggers, which I should have just saved this for the end, but here we're going. I feel like a lot of vloggers that I follow, or even like budget bloggers, they all have an income of like 6 figures. So what they're able to save and what I'm able to save, not quite the same, you know? So I have not monetized my YouTube channel. My income and what I was able to save is what I make at my current day job. So it's not a side hustle. It's not anything like that. And so I think that it's really hard to find inspiration that's realistic. I mean, everyone's reality is different, but if your reality matches mine, then I think it's really hard to find really good inspiration and just kind of something that is realistic for you. So anyway, I hope that I can kind of answer, I don't know, I don't want to say answer those questions because I'm not asking any questions, but kind of just give you an idea of what my journey in January with saving and budgeting looked like. So anyway, we're gonna have a what I eat in a day, and then we're gonna have a budget talk. So I will see you guys when I make my coffee. So you guys know that I do not eat breakfast in the morning. I'm just never hungry, but I actually didn't have much for dinner last night, so I am a little hungry today. So I'm going to have a Premier protein and coffee this morning. I actually really enjoy doing this because it honestly does fill you up. This is the coffee that I like to get. It's just the Starbucks medium roast unsweetened. I don't feel the need to put a sweetener in my coffee. I never have. I've never put like sugar or anything. And for once, I actually found the caramel one of this Premier protein, and I don't think it tastes a whole lot different than vanilla. So I feel like I've been waiting a really long time for like nothing that exciting, which is, you know, typical. So I just I fill up my coffee, well, I fill up my cup with as much coffee as I want, and then I pour in sometimes a little less than half of the Premier protein. This time it's about exactly half. And that's what I'm gonna have for, I don't wanna say breakfast, but it's more so just like my coffee substitution today. So if you haven't tried this Premier protein hack, it's all over social media. If you're on WW, this is a really great way to kind of start your morning and get in a little protein, but also kind of get full before lunch or hold you over for lunch. So I'm sure I am not reinventing the wheel on this, but it is a really great way to kind of, I don't want to say skip breakfast, but if you're not a breakfast person and you're a coffee person, this is a great way to kind of best of both worlds. So you guys, the longer that I sit here and I sip this, I don't think I'm into the caramel flavor, and I'm kind of annoyed because I feel like I've waited a really long time to try the caramel, Walmart doesn't carry it. My grocery store literally only carries the chocolate and the vanilla on like a regular basis. So I just picked up the caramel because that is what everyone mixes their coffee with. I think I like the vanilla better. Like, I think I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that like I waited a year and a half to try the caramel and like it's not that great. So cheers. Okay guys, I am back to work from a very quick lunch. I'm actually still eating here. I just ran home to go grab my macaroni that I left, but this is what I'm eating. It's just a lean cuisine macaroni. It's 10 points, which is a little hefty for a lunch situation, but keep in mind, I have 20 points a day on the green plan, so 40 points, not 20. I'm a little fried, can you tell? So I have 40 points a day on the green plan. So I've only used 11, so I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to have a salad with brisket. Tyler smoked a brisket for the Super Bowl this weekend, so I'm going to toss that into a salad for dinner tonight. So I'm pretty happy with my point situation. I will say about this lean cuisine, I picked up the same one. It has macaroni and cheese, but it also has broccoli in it, and I like that one way better. So if you are debating between just the macaroni or the macaroni and broccoli, get the broccoli. I don't know why, I don't know, just tasted better. I liked it better. So anyway, that is my lunch situation, and I will see you guys at dinner. Hey guys, I am headed home from what seems like the longest day, only because it was just really slow at work, but which is kind of a blessing, if you know what I mean. But you guys, so Tyler and I took our engagement pictures, which I will say, I don't know if that's just like a Southern thing or not, but I have a couple of friends who are like, you take engagement pictures? Yes, that's not a normal thing everywhere, but we do, and we did. So anyway, I got a sneak peek of them today, and my supervisor, who's on maternity leave, sent me a text message, and all it said was, oh my God, in all caps. So I responded back, and I was like, what? And she says she sends me a text message back with like the dead emoji, and I respond back in all caps with what? And she responds back with your pictures. I'm like having a panic attack inside for absolutely no reason, but I'm like, what pictures? Like, I haven't posted anything. And so that's exactly what I said. And she was like, no, your engagement pictures, they're posted. So my photographer put a sneak peek up on Facebook, and you guys, I cried, and I like never cry ever. It's like a thing. Let alone do I cry in public where someone like potentially could see me, but I did. They are so good. They are so much better than I ever could have like hoped. I just am like overwhelmed. They look amazing. So anyway, all that to say, if you are in like the Texas area, which is quite large, but if you're in Texas or like eastern New Mexico and probably even like southern Oklahoma, she travels. So if you are in the same season as I am and you need a photographer for like all the things, I cannot recommend her enough. She was so fun to work with. Y'all, I haven't had pictures, like real pictures taken, since I was a senior in high school, and that was quite literally 10 plus years ago. So it was just kind of like nerve-wracking to get in front of a camera of like someone that you know, but you don't really know. She made us so comfortable. I feel like you can tell in the pictures that we're really comfortable, and that was something I was really worried about. I didn't want it to come off like we looked like stiff when we were posing, but we didn't. So anyway, if you need a photographer, hit me up. I will give you her information because I just feel like she needs to do all of the engagements, all of the weddings, all the things, all the babies, all the things. So, you guys, is there anything better than walking into a half-cooked dinner? No. It could be spaghetti, which like I despise more than anything on the planet, and I would just be like over the moon that I wasn't having to do it. So apparently, Tyler, what are we having tonight?
BLTs
Again. I don't care. I'm not complaining. I am pumped about it because I don't have to do it. So So I'm gonna go put my cozies on. Tyler's clearly already in his. We're having like a blizzard, but it's like not. It's like fake snowing outside. So I'm gonna go put my cozies on, and then we're gonna eat, and then I'm gonna chat with you guys about how my, I wanna say like dry January, because that's truly how it felt, but how my no spend January ended up, because I did the math at work today. I'm very proud of myself, and I cannot wait to tell you guys about it. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna redeem myself with my egg flipping skills, except I already feel like this is not going well. And excuse, oh, yes! Excuse the Big Daddy spatula. This is a little obnoxious, but our normal one is dirty. And so I'm having to use like the grill one, but you know, it's fine. It got the job done, so. Is that not like the most perfect egg you've ever seen? It really is. I promise this next What I Eat in a Day video, I'm going to eat something you guys haven't seen before. I promise. This is a little, like, what's the word when it's like the same thing?
Redundant?
Yeah, it's a little redundant. This is my 12-point dinner. It's exactly the same as the last like loaded BLT that you guys saw in my What I Eat in a Day video. I'm here for it. I'm not mad about this repeat at all. But I did mention earlier that I thought I was going to be having a brisket salad, and since I didn't have that for dinner today, I'm going to have that for lunch tomorrow. So again, kind of here for this little surprise, we'll call it. Okay, we're not getting the most like aesthetically pleasing photo out of this, but I am so proud of how well I cooked the yolk, because sometimes it's rock solid hard and sometimes it's really gross and super runny. And this time I feel like I did it right smack in the middle, and I'm pretty pumped about the sandwich situation. Tyler, it was a good idea.
Thank you.
Okay guys, I wanted to sit down and talk with y'all about how much I saved with my no spend January, and kind of what no spend January for me meant. So Lauren, Tara, and then one of my girlfriends, Kelsey, the four of us all kind of did it together, which if you're gonna do a no spend month, I highly recommend getting some kind of support system behind you, because if you're a shopper, which no judgment, it's hard. It is really hard. So what no spend meant for us is you can only spend money on the essentials. So of course, gas, your rent, your mortgage, your everyday bills, your credit card bills, your student loans, anything like that, of course, got paid. You can also spend it on groceries. You can set a limit, which anything that is like a changing rate. So if your electric bill changes, if your grocery budget changes, things like that, I would try to set a budget. So I know roundabouts what my electric bill is, give or take, every month. I kind of just get a budget within that. Same with groceries. I know how much I want to spend each week. I personally grocery shop every week. That just works best for me in my meal planning. So that's kind of how I set my budget and my whole budget for the month. So I want to be really honest without giving away my like income number, but I want this to be really helpful for anyone who is maybe wanting to start a debt-free journey or just wanting to learn how to budget, because I didn't know how to budget. So I didn't really start budgeting until I was fully living by myself, paying all of my own bills. I know this sounds very naive, and I will own that, but I had no idea. I just didn't know how to budget. I didn't know how to handle my money Like, what do you mean I can't go out to eat every night of the week and buy a pair of boots? I want to, you know? And so, anyway, in the last couple of years, I have learned that I have a budget for everything. So I'm going to link her YouTube channel down below. I actually find her fascinating. I follow The Budget Mom. I actually use her worksheet. She's a free printable worksheet that you can download online. I'll link her website down below as well, because if you are, like I said, trying to budget or trying to have a debt-free journey, or just, I don't know, trying to be an adult and be on top of it, then her resources are amazing. And like I said, some of them are free, so highly recommend. But anyway, we're getting a little off track. So with that being said, I use her budget worksheets every single month. I know, give or take, what I'm going to get paid. I'm not a salary employed. I am hourly, but I also have a commission bonus. So like I said, I want this to be very honest, because I just feel like when I was looking, or currently, as I am trying to get inspiration, I find it very hard to find something that is relatable to me. You can follow these YouTubers, you can follow these bloggers, but their income and my income are like astronomically different. And so I can't relate to them saving, you know, you'll Google something or you'll YouTube something and it's how I paid off $60,000 worth of debt in 6 months. Okay, I can't pass college algebra, but like I can tell you that I don't make $60,000 in 6 months. Therefore, I'm probably not going to pay off $60,000 worth of debt, you know? So with that being said, I make a budget each month. I know what I'm going to get paid, give or take. I kind of fluctuate. I budget on the low side. I don't budget on the high side, because if you have money left over, that's a great problem to have. But if you didn't budget enough, then that's a problem. So I budget each month. I budget gas for my car, not like my house gas, but gas, electricity, what else? I budget shopping if it's a spending month. I budget eating out if it's a spending month. I budget groceries. So fixed rates like my rent, what else is fixed? WW, my gym membership, and my TV and internet package. Like those are all fixed rates. So I know exactly how much I owe every single month. Everything else is kind of fluctuated, and I budget according to what I'm thinking I'm getting paid. Does that make sense? With that being said, no spend January meant no shopping budget, no eating out budget, a very slim grocery budget, because the idea of no spend, whatever month you're doing, is that you are just spending on your life necessities, in the sense of you are either paying off a debt or you are saving money. I am focused on paying off a debt. I think a lot of people have an opinion on that. You should be paying off and you should be saving, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but for me personally, I have a goal to have a credit card paid off at an XYZ date, and for me, that just means paying more towards my credit card and saving less. I'm okay with that. But you make a decision that works for you, for your family, whatever it may be. So with that being said, all of January, Lauren actually said it in a daily vlog. I just watched it this morning while I was getting ready. So my girlfriend Kelsey, who's not on YouTube, she's just one of my best girlfriends. She was probably the best one of all three of us. She and I talked probably every other day about it. I truly think, in the least nosy way possible, I think finances are fascinating. Like other people's finances, I just find it fascinating. So her and I talked a lot about it back and forth, just about how much money were we saving, how much money were we spending. And honestly, the joint consensus on all four of us was that we couldn't believe how much money we spent on just little things. For example, this is probably something everybody can relate to. Do you know how much money you spend on Starbucks every single month? I do. And it was a lot. And it kind of blew my mind when I actually sat down and thought about it. So when I said earlier that I have an eating out budget and a shopping budget and, you know, a budget for everything, I tell my money where it's going and how I'm spending it. But that's it. It wasn't, you can only spend this much on restaurants. You can only spend this much on Starbucks. No, if I had, say, $100 for eating out for those 2 weeks, because I get paid bi-weekly. So if I had $100 spent or allocated towards eating out, if I spend $100 on Starbucks, then like I'm just out of money, but I spent $100 on Starbucks. You guys, that's insane. I was spending so much money on little things that were just adding up. It truly blew my mind, because in the big picture, for me personally, I mean, I knew I was spending the money. I can see it on the app. But I just didn't see how much of my income was going to Starbucks. Like, it just blows my mind. So my vices are Starbucks and Home Goods, which is probably no surprise, and eating out. And not eating out in the sense of like eating out on lunches. Every now and then that will happen. Eating out for me is a date night. It is like my therapy. I need a date night with Tyler. I say need, and that's probably not the best way to say it, but that's just the honest truth. I'm gonna be so candid in this. I need a date night. I don't want, Tyler and I have conversations about this quite often. He'll say, well, I can cook at home. I don't want you to cook at home. I want to go to a restaurant. I want to order food. I want to have the food in front of me. Like, I don't want you to have to cook it. I don't want to have to cook it. I don't know what it is about it, but I love a date night. And for me in my relationship, it's just very important, and it's intentional time. And so I have really worked at looking at home date nights being just as great and just as special. And that is a mind thing, and I totally know that, and I know that that's not everyone. I can appreciate an at-home date night, but it takes some work, if I'm being completely honest. And I know that it is absolutely no different, and my steak 9 out of 10 times tastes better when Tyler cooks it than when I order it at a restaurant. But gosh dang it, I want to order it at a restaurant. So that is another thing that I really worked on and kind of learned about myself through No Spend January, is that I spend a lot of money eating out. We have a date night once a week. That's a standing, we just do. It's either Friday or Saturday. That's my one treat meal with WW. That's the goal, to only be the one treat meal with WW at least. And so I just realized we are spending a lot of money doing that. So I really wanted, we cut back on that completely. But with all of that being said, the only time I really kind of fudged my No Spend January, my mom came to town to help with some wedding planning things. And so I bought lunch or bought dinner, one of the two. We went out to eat. And so I bought lunch or dinner, one of the two, I can't remember. And then we went to Home Goods, and I bought some makeup, so that was kind of a fudge. But other than that, you guys, I was really able to spend so much money, and that's kind of what I was saying about my girlfriend Kelsey when we were talking. When you have an allotted amount, and it is such a smaller amount because your goal is XYZ amount of dollars to have at the end of the month, or to save, or to pay, or whatever it may be, we just couldn't believe how much money we had left over because we weren't spending it $5 here and $15 there and a $30 Home Goods trip there and $15 at Target here. Can you walk into Target and spend less than $60? Because I can't. I don't know what I buy at Target, but it is always $60. And the same with Home Goods. I can't walk in there and not buy something. I can't. It's my cross to bear. What can I say? But with that being said, No Spend January really made me see that I was, in a sense, wasting so much money. And it's not wasting. I truly enjoy decorating my house. You've seen my my Vlogmases and things like that. I truly enjoy those things. And so I don't view it as wasting. But because we are saving for our wedding, do I need a $15 candle, or do I need to pay for some napkins? You know? And if you are planning a wedding or planning an event this year, I know you can relate on that. So with that, all of that being said, I just kind of want to sum it up because I feel like I've been talking forever. But I was, like I said, I think it was either on my way to work or at lunch at some point today. I said, I don't have a side hustle, which if you do, I think that is amazing. I'm not discounting that. I'm not saying that that's like a cheating way of saving money at all. But if you are like me and you don't have a second income and you're just doing it off of your paycheck, I just want to give you a my realistic at least, view of how January went down. So I was able to I was able to pay towards, so I have a very small minimum payment on my credit card, which is great, but I always try to pay more than that minimum payment because I understand how interest works. So with that being said, I was able to pay $1,000 in the month of January. And just saying $1,000 makes me realize that I spent $1,000 at Home Goods and Starbucks and eating out and at the grocery store buying a bottle of wine, and just all of these things added up, that's where my $1,000 is going to. That to me is mind blowing. And I know that there are probably some of you who I so just admire. I admire that I have a girlfriend who, like, she could care less. She doesn't love to shop. She doesn't love to buy things. I am just not that way. So that is where my issue comes in. And I think No Spend January, I am truly looking at it as a Whole30 for like shopping. Like, it is a no spend Whole30. Whole30, the whole point of that diet is to show you your eating habits and to help you create new ones, and also of course have a body detox and all the things. But a point of Whole30 is, you know, no snacking and things like that. The whole point of No Spend January is no shopping, in the sense of spending that you don't have to spend. And that's exactly what it did for me. I never thought I would have had $1,000 to just come up with, except I do. I just spend it all. And so I just am extremely proud of myself. I know Lauren, she talked about it in her vlog this morning. She she paid $800 to her credit card. That was a huge deal for her. I think if you're saving, paying towards whatever, if you are doing something extra for yourself, it doesn't matter if it's $150 or $1,000 or $10,000. Just the fact that you're doing it, I feel like is such a step in the right direction. And for me, if you're new here, I probably could have started this whole rant with this. I'm getting married at the end, just as crazy to even say. I'm getting married at the end of this year, and one of mine and Tyler's goals is to not go into debt, not go into our marriage in debt. And so it's extremely important to both of us to have our credit cards paid off, to have some student loans paid off, things like that, and to not put our wedding on a credit card, and to do the majority of it, at least what we can, in quote unquote cash. And I understand that that is not everyone's goal, and I understand that not everyone cares to do that, and that's great too. But for us personally, it is a huge goal of ours to go into our marriage the most debt-free that we possibly can be. I don't expect to have everything paid off, but to have the most of it, because I'm being, intentional. Because I'm being intentional with my spending, that to me is just the most important. And it's the same thing if you're on WW, if you're doing Whole30, whatever lifestyle decision you're trying to make in the beginning of 2020, just any tiny minor improvement is an improvement. It doesn't matter if you've lost 5 pounds, and it doesn't matter if you saved $50. Like, you lost 5 pounds and you saved $50. Like, that is the most important thing, and that is all that matters. So I hope that this, I'm sure, 20-minute rant gave you some idea, or maybe just some inspiration for budgeting, or for paying off debt, anything like that, because that was kind of the whole point of this. And I just wanted to give people something that, if you are on a single job, like not a side hustle, and you make I don't know, like, if you make less than 100 grand, then I'm in your boat. And so I just know how frustrating it is to research ideas of how to pay off debt and how to do, you know, XYZ, and they're going off of a 6-figure income. I totally get you. I totally get you. And so I just wanted to give someone else who is much like myself a little bit of inspiration and tell you that you can do it. You just got to stop going to Home Goods, girlfriend, because that is where all your money's going, which is the most depressing thing on the planet, because Home Goods, like, people think Target is their happy place. I can't relate. Target stresses me out. There's kids everywhere freaking out and crying, and like, I can't. Home Goods, that's where you can find me on a Sunday afternoon. Except not now, because I have a wedding to pay for, you know? So with all of that being said, I hope I either answered some questions maybe that you had, or just gave you some inspiration, or just gave you something to do for 20 minutes of your life. Either way, I'll take it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just hope you got a little bit of realistic, everyone's reality is different, but I hope you got a little bit of realistic kind of debt and saving and all the things, maybe just some inspiration. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and leave a comment down below. Let me know. Do you make a budget? Do you just, I say hope for the best. I don't mean that in a bad way, but like that would be what I would be doing. I would just be hoping for the best. So let me know if you're very type A with your money or very type B. Tyler is actually in banking and investing, and he is a very type B with his own money, which I find extremely ironic, but whatever. I, however, am very type A with my money, so, you know, we just kind of got to meet in the middle and make it work. And that's just how we do things. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.